He's an award-winning writer and a member of London's hip lit set. His first book, The Impressionist, brought him an advance of £1 million and worldwide acclaim. Despite his fame and fortune, Hari Kunzru has avoided the allure of celebrity, using his status to speak out on controversial issues.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me.
In 2003, he rejected a top writing award because it was sponsored by the Daily Mail, a paper he says consistently runs a hostile editorial line against immigrants. Since then, he's gained more acclaim for his second novel, Transmission, the story of a computer virus named after a Bollywood star. He's also written a mammoth essay full of big words like Kaff House Literaten for a book railing against the Religious Hatred Bill. Whatever Kaff House Literaten means, protecting people from religious hatred seems like a good idea on the surface. So why is he so against it?
The Incitement to Religious Hatred Bill is an attempt to put religion on the same footing as race, gender and sexual orientation. Put very simply, if you use threatening or insulting words or behaviour with the intent to stir up religious hatred, it will be a crime punishable with up to 7 years in prison. I think this law is insane. It's going to provide a government-sponsored boxing ring for bigots.
So it's all right to offend people, is it?
George Orwell wrote, "If liberty means anything, it means the right to tell people what they don't want to hear." In the Australian state of Victoria, they've already got a law like this, and it's causing chaos, with evangelical Christians, Muslims, and even witches bringing cases against each other, trying to prove that they're right.
If it only affects religious people, why are you so concerned?
Writers like me are worried about censorship. If you say something controversial, will your publisher still take the risk of putting it out? So, stand-up comedians and civil liberties activists are also worried. And what about women who want to criticise their religious leaders? And even if you're not worried about women's rights or the right of a bunch of arty types to offend people, then you should be worried about what this is going to do to society.
To get the ball rolling, Harry's doing a spoken word performance at Book Slam. It's a club night where they read books. So cute.
You must be prepared to die for oil. Repeat after me, die for oil.
One of the few things that still has the potential to be cool is a book. It's just a very informal space where people can talk about all kinds of things and say controversial things and read controversial things.
But Hari is in danger of taking the controversy too far. He intends to read a poem about Jesus that is so controversial. In the 70s, the publisher was prosecuted for blasphemy. So is he going out of his way to offend?
I don't want to offend for a gratuitous offence sake. I mean, that's kind of not what this is about. It's not about boys getting to say bum in public. There's a serious point here about the freedom to say the difficult things. There is a feeling that these blasphemy laws that we already have that only protect the Anglican Church, like one religious group in this country, are not functioning anymore. And in a way, the legislation that's being proposed now is a sort of extension of that. So in a way, I'm going to try and test the limits a bit here.
So please, put your hands together and make it raucous and do that big wooing thing. For Mr. Hari Kunzru, thank you.
This is a highly sexual poem in the voice of the centurion who's taking Jesus off the cross. And so it's certainly, I mean, if you are a believing Christian, this is difficult stuff. This is blasphemy, technically under British law, and I seem to be doing it on television as well. So here goes. The poem is called "The Love That Dares to Speak Its Name." As they took him from the cross, I, the centurion, took him in my arms. The tough, lean body of a man no longer young, beardless, breathless, but well hung. He was still warm. While they prepared the tomb, I kept guard over him. His mother and the Magdalene had gone to fetch clean linen to shroud his nakedness. I was alone with him for the last time. I kissed his mouth. My tongue found his, bitter with death. I licked his wound, the blood was harsh. For the last time, I laid my lips around the tip of that great cock, the instrument of our salvation, our eternal joy. This is the passionate and blissful crucifixion same-sex lovers suffer, patiently and gladly. They inflict these loving injuries of joy and grace one upon the other, till they die of lust and pain within the horny paradise of one another's limbs. With one voice cry to heaven in a last divine release. Then lie long together, peacefully entwined with hope of resurrection, as we did on that green hill far away. And so that is what blasphemy sounds like. Either prosecute or admit that the law of blasphemy is now a dead letter, no longer has any meaning.